Hi, I'm Ryan Sutherland, and you are watching the Permanent Rain Press.
Hi everyone, it's Chloe with the Permanent Rain Press. Today I am so happy to be joined by Ryan Sutherland. How's it going?
Good. How are you? I was gonna take a swig of my drink. I've been obsessed with the flavored Mios, the little packs. So anyway, I have strawberry kiwi today. Yeah, thank you so much for having me. It's an honor to be here.
I'm so happy and so excited to be chatting with you all about season one of Bet on Netflix. But to start off, what can you share about your background in the arts and what sparked that passion in you?
Yeah, well, I started doing musical theater in grade five. So I was really young and I just started doing musicals in my school and kind of fell in love with it. And then my siblings and I did musicals in community theater in our small town where we grew up in Ontario. And yeah, so I just fell in love with it. I went to university for musical theater and yeah, I just finished that about 2 years ago in Toronto. And now I'm here just trying to figure out what to do. I love musical theater, but I would love to just kind of do more TV and film like Bet and kind of crazy shows like that. Yeah.
In terms of your theater background, like musical theater, how was your time on stage? Because it's a whole other beast. You don't get multiple takes like you would for film and TV. So probably taught you a lot that period.
Yeah, it really did, especially for Suki. Like they let me, the directors were great and they let me kind of improvise some stuff. So then that was definitely helpful, my theater training for that, because I was just kind of ready to improvise or do something fun with the character. So yeah, I thank my theater training for that, definitely. And yeah.
We'll talk about your time at, I believe it was Sheridan College and a
Yeah, good
bit,
for
but
you.
I know you said goodbye to Ryan Comedy last year after creating comedy and skit content under this banner for like 4 or 5 years. Mental health and negative comments were a factor in your decision. So can you expand upon this chapter in your life and your decision to focus on yourself and your current goals?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I love doing RYANcomedy for like 4 years since 2020, and then last year I kind of took a break from it because I didn't really. I just thought the time was through, and I thought, you know what, I wanna. This wasn't my end game. Was never to be like an influencer, so. But I loved it. But I've always wanted to be an actor first, so. Uh, yeah, but I will say RYANcomedy definitely helped me with my comedy skills. Like I always say, it's like the best school. Like it's a school I got to do for free, just doing like RYANcomedy for 4 years and thinking of scripts and writing different scripts and ideas. It really made me like think on my feet. So yeah, I'm really grateful for that. But yeah, negative comments definitely were not I'm still dealing with that every day. It used to not affect me, and then once I stopped kind of loving doing RYANcomedy, the skits and stuff, I the negativity kind of overpowered. So that's why I stopped. Yeah. And what was the rest of the question?
No worries. It was just about like what you're grateful for that chapter in your life. Like you kind of
Yeah.
grew, your channel grew very quickly, and I'm sure
Yeah.
for someone who, like you mentioned, it was never your end goal, it can be a bit of a culture shock.
Yeah, it was definitely a shock. Yeah, I mean, my goal for RYANcomedy was always to make it so that I can like get jobs from RYANcomedy, like people watching my YouTube videos and then maybe asking me to audition or something. But you know what? It never really happened. Like it's just really separate, like the main space, main media, and then also like social media. So it never really connected. But now I'm grateful for Suki because he's like this crazy influencer, and so. I can relate to that being this yeah, insane social media persona.
I can definitely see drawing some parallels during certain moments in season one, but you made the decision to focus on yourself. And since that video was posted, you have posted more comedy videos. So was it important for you to kind of return to this content on your own terms?
Actually, that's really good. Thank you. You did your research. Like you guys are great. Yeah, I wanted to you know what, I still love doing skits. So some days I'm like, you know what? I just feel like doing a skit because honestly, I just think it's so fun. It makes me creatively like fulfilled. So I was like, why can't I just do a skit every once a month? I can do whatever I want. It's my social media. So I'm trying to not think about what others want and just thinking about what I need to do for my soul. And yeah, so sometimes I do a little skit here and there, but um, yeah. But my goal is to leave my Instagram for just being actually me and not really like a persona. And then my acting will be like the characters. So. Yeah, that's my end goal.
I think it's very like admirable and brave to admit when you need a change and when you need a break. And I do have to say, going back to your past videos, my favorites were your no one ads. Like you did covered
Ah,
everything under the sun. There was like perfume, paper towels, Grammarly. And so,
yes.
I mean, those are so fun to watch, but it's
Ah,
it's hard to know that like it does take a toll on you. So I'm glad that you're, putting out the content that you want to put
yeah.
out now.
Thank you. And you know what? You mentioned those ads, and that was like a really high moment for me because I was with my family during COVID and I lived with them for like 2 years. And I was just making those videos every day, and it was like a rush. I would wake up and just do a skit, and yeah, I loved it. Like that was when I was in love with making all those videos. So yeah, I had a great time doing that. But it's now time for a change. Yeah.
A rebirth, like some would
A
say, like
rebirth.
your
Yes.
character.
Like
Um,
Suki.
yeah. Tell me about the origins of this little shop you set up, Pink Zen, and sharing your mental health journey with a wider audience.
Yes, yeah, Pink Zen is kind of just a little seed right now, but I'm hoping to make it grow a bit more. So, yeah, I just started this Instagram page that has little Etsy designs of that I've wrote, like little quotes with my handwriting on it. There's like mugs and different things. Anyway, the proceeds from that go to different charities. So haven't really started this yet, but it's just kind of it's just blossoming now. But yeah, so I just wanted to share like I don't know, sometimes social media, of course, can be like a harsh space, and lately there's just been so much hate online, and even I've just had to stop. And now I never scroll on social media anymore. Like this is like new in the past month. I've stopped. I like have to re-download Instagram every time I want to go on it, and anyway, so that's been really helpful just to live in the present kind of thing because you really get sucked into this online world like and you think it's real but you should just really foster the relationships you have like face to face so yeah, I wanted to make Pink Zen. I want it to be like in 10 years this great space or this platform for positivity and hopefully donating a lot of money for different charities and mental health hospitals and yeah, because throughout I had a lot of mental health stuff and growing up, and yeah, just different issues. I had eating disorders and that kind of thing, and I'm very vocal about that on Instagram. So yeah, I want to just say to people, you're not alone, and it's normal. Like we're humans living in this experience, so we all have our issues that we can come together and help each other with. Yeah.
That's beautiful that you can kind of harness your past and what you're going through, and you got to start somewhere. So I'm glad you kind of planted that seed, and it can only grow from here. I mentioned, your time at Sheridan College. That was your degree in music theater performance. So tell me about your studies there and how you took those skills into your professional film career.
Yes, how to take those skills. Well, I had a great time at Sheridan. Yeah, the best thing I got out of that program was probably the people, just like the teachers, the students. I still talk to many of the people I was, my people in my class, the other students, and yeah, what helped me there? Honestly, I collaborated a lot with them, just doing improv and a lot of videos on like my YouTube. I would like force them to do these crazy videos. Um, so yeah, just collaboration, working with people. I mean, it also helped me with my singing a lot, and I grew up singing, but it's not really my go-to. Like I can carry a tune, but I just, it's not my end all passion. But yeah, I love my time there. I love my time there, and it's cool to see my friends. Like I have two roommates, and they're both doing musical theater now. And they're from Sheridan, and so it's cool to see their careers blossom while I'm just on a different path, but in the same, creative industry. Yeah.
For sure. And I was like looking at what you might have studied in that degree. And aside from you mentioned like the singing, the acting, dance, there's also that like business entrepreneurial side, which I mean, you had a taste of with Ryan Comedy, but I'm sure it also kind of enhanced today, like when you're having to do more networking and when work on your own like cover letters and resumes and things like that.
Yeah, it's very true. Yeah, we had some classes that were just really good, just like knowledgeable teachers and casting directors would come in and talk to us. So yeah, there were some great classes at that school. Yeah.
We'll get into Bet, where you star as Suki. This is a series that's based off the Japanese manga Kakegurui. What can you share about your audition process and what you were told about the show and the character you auditioned for?
Yes, so we were told, oh, that it wasn't based on, we didn't know it was based on anything. So my character, Suki, I think his name was Sammy, and I just had a description. He was an influencer who just had like a dark undertone of hate or a little bit of evil. So I love that. So I just auditioned last February. So last February 2024. And then we just sent in a video right here, my wall. It's my ring light. And yeah, sent in a video, which is my acting coach. And then just sent in that. It was like two scenes. And then a month went by. And then I went on Zoom with the casting director, Larissa, and Simon, the creator of the series. And yeah, met them, did another scene or three scenes, I believe, and then I did some improv because it was just really fun. And then yeah, and I didn't think I get got it. I was like, oh gosh, I don't think I got it, and I really wanted it. But then I got it about a month later. I got a call from my agent, and yeah, so yeah, it was really exciting, and yeah, my first TV show, so I was just nervous and
Well, you did an excellent job despite the nerves that might have been, from your inside. I think anytime, like you mentioned, this is like your first big TV project, you always feel a bit of imposter syndrome as well.
I did. I definitely did. But it really helped being Suki because I could kind of just be myself and he's not like a really stoic. It would be challenging for me to just be like I don't know, like even to be like Clara who plays Kira. She plays Kira. Uh yeah, like that character, I don't know if I connect with as much, but Suki is just fun. So it was a little bit less nerve-wracking.
Do you remember any of the scenes that you had to read or go through for your auditions? Like, did they make it into the show?
They did. The scene was the main scene. I remember being like, "Oh, this is so long," and I was nervous about memorizing it. And I did mess up, and I messed up badly. And Simon said, "Okay, we'll start over in the audition." And I was like, "Oh gosh," and I was like, "Oh, I messed up really bad." But anyway, I did because they had to film. Sorry, I'm going over. They had to film the Zoom audition to send to Netflix, right? So I was like, oh gosh, and not only am I auditioning for them on Zoom, like there's gonna be all these executives watching. So I was nervous when they told me that in the audition. But anyway, so the scene was the episode two, the scene with Miku, Yumeko,
The
the
icebreaker scene, yeah.
icebreaker. Yeah, yeah, which is my favorite scene to film. I love that one. Yeah.
We'll get into the specifics of that because that was very like, a lot of these scenes there's so much like tension in the air with the back and forth and the gambling. But with Suki, he's inspired by the manga character. It's Suki, and based off character description, I think a bit of Yumemi as well. So after you were cast, how much research did you do with the source material and what specific elements did you draw inspiration from?
Yes, you know what? What did I do? I read the manga and I watched a little bit. I know it's not based off the anime, but I did watch a little bit of the anime just to get a sense of like tone kind of thing. And I like watching things more than reading. So anyway, I did that. But yeah, just for Suki, it's kind of a combination of characters, like you said. So I didn't really focus on one. I didn't really focus on being like a interpretation. I just focused on pretty much what Simon told me the character's about and the description I got. And honestly, just he's a character, so I just wanted to be funny, and he's like literally there to be funny, in my opinion. And so yeah, I saw the reason I'm in the show is like my character isn't really to drive plot, it's just to kind of break tension because it is very tense the whole show. So yeah, so I just kind of followed that and saw my puzzle piece in the whole puzzle of Bet. And yeah, I wanted to just have fun with it. And yeah, I hope that comes across. We had a ton of fun. It was like summer camp. We had so much fun.
I was speaking with Aviva and she was on another show before and she mentioned it was almost like a parallel, but years later for her, it's like, revisiting like that school setting and
Yeah.
creating that family and just spending time together. In terms of Suki, so were those two characters like mentioned to you as maybe kind of being a bit being based off of, or did you kind of just
Actually,
go in fresh?
not really. Like I inferred they were based on those two, but Simon never came up to me and told me it's based on this. And also with the nail scene, I was like, oh, it's probably based on this character because of the nails. Um, but yeah, no, I just wanted to be fresh. And I love the characters from the manga, but yeah, it's an adaptation, and I wanted to make my own little fresh thing with it. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's important that, like, there were, like you mentioned, elements that maybe stuck out to you, but that being said, it's really not a clear cut. It's not supposed to emulate it exactly.
Yeah. I didn't want to be a caricature, and like I knew I could never get it bang on. Like I'm not like an impersonator, so yeah, I just wanted to do something kind of different, and just do my own thing that came from my heart. Yeah.
Are there any other fictional characters or performances that helped you when shaping your version of Suki?
What do I think? What do I think? I mean, I was looking at, well, I was thinking about this question because my agent sent me the questions before. And I was like, you know what? Not really. But then I was on YouTube yesterday and I was watching a Jeffree Star video. You know Jeffree Star? Yeah. Anyway, he's a beauty influencer for those that don't know. And he's kind of like really sassy. And I was like, wait, I grew up watching him. And maybe I took some of that. I think I really see some parallels with Jeffree Star and Suki. So a little bit of that. But in terms of fictional characters, not really. Yeah, I wish I could give you a better answer, but honestly, I just wanted to be crazy and yeah, make my own Suki come to life.
I think it's fun to start with a bit of a blank slate, but like you mentioned, maybe what you watched in the past maybe subconsciously kind of formed its way
I think
in.
it
And
did.
of course, there's that free range cosmetics parallel with the makeup, so that's
Yes,
very possible.
exactly. Yeah, so I think maybe Jeffree Star. I'll give it to him.
I just love the inflection in your voice as Suki. There's so much character to it, so I could really tell that that's maybe where the Ryan comedy bit kind of came back to you.
It did. Yeah, it did. Yeah, you know what? My roommate was looking over my shoulder when I was watching the show yesterday, and she's like, "Oh my gosh, it's just like when you did Ryan comedy." I was like, "Oh, you're right. I just play one character my whole life, but but it's true. Yeah. Yeah. So it's definitely Ryan comedy-esque, and
How was it creating Suki's look with hair, makeup, and wardrobe departments? And how would you describe his signature style and aesthetic?
I would say he wants to be really glamorous, and he wants people to know that he's rich. And so he wears all the designer stuff. And he loves the nails. So the long nails were a big thing. I would say that was the highlight of his look. We always were careful choosing the nails, and we tried on a bunch of different variations. And I think there was 3 sets. They were just press-ons basically, but I've never worn nails that I've never worn fake nails in my life, so I couldn't even go to the washroom. I had to get somebody to undo my zipper. It was so humiliating. Every time I went to the washroom, I would say, "Excuse me," or like I would always get Rami. He plays Rex, my house pet, to open my Diet Cokes. I love Diet Coke. He would open because I couldn't. I would always break a nail, and so at least once a day the nails would break. But yeah, the nails were a big thing. The hair. I loved. I've never dyed my hair before. Actually, when I auditioned for Suki, I had red hair, like kind of, like not bright red, just has red undertones. So I thought they would want red, but I'm glad they didn't because it looks horrible looking back at photos. Oh my God. Have you ever dyed your hair? No, don't do it. Because you think in your head, you're like, oh my gosh, I look the hottest I've ever looked. And then a month later, when it fades out, you're like, oh gosh, I'm back to normal and I look better. So, yeah, Suki's hair was a big thing. We got it like dyed and professionally, and we didn't really get the tone that we wanted at first. And then it was a lot of experimenting. We wanted the it to be like not yellow at all, just like icy. Yeah, and I miss that hair. So I'm hoping season two, if there is a season two, we can. I want to do it all blonde. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I'll ask Renee, the makeup artist and hair artist.
Did you feel very like in your element when you bleached your hair, that kind of blonde platinum look?
You know what? I actually did. I didn't feel in my element wearing makeup. Like I've always worn a little bit of makeup, like even right now, just a tiny bit, but never like glam. And
It's the
so
eyeliner, right? He
it
always
is.
had like a great eye look as
Yeah,
well.
he did. And so that to me is just not me, but that helped because I'm like, oh, I'm a character, of course. I'm acting. So it helped get into Suki. I think especially the nails. Honestly, that was the biggest thing. The nails. Suki's obsessed with nails and I'm obsessed with nails. So yeah,
That nail collection that he carried along with him, or I should say Rex carried for
I
him, was
know it's
very
disgusting.
extensive. Can you share some insight into any backstory or childhood you created for Suki or discuss with others and how that impacted who Suki is in present day when we meet him?
Yeah, well, this is kind of like when Suki comes back, spoiler, in episode 6, he kind of has this long monologue in the Met Gala about a little bit revealing some of the things from his past. So, um, yeah, he talks a little bit about how he grew up, where he came from. He says he couldn't really be himself. So my childhood I made for him was kind of well, I want like viewers to think about their own kind of ideas for this, but my idea is that he grew up in a very rural area, southern, maybe United States, and he wasn't accepted for wearing makeup. He didn't want to be, he wasn't allowed to be himself. He wasn't allowed to be gay, and it was a very he was closeted. It was a very sad experience. So now he can be himself, and that's why he was Alpha Sean, the killing the deer guy, the wilderness guy, was because he was just trying to blend in with that side of his roots kind of thing. So, but then the other thing that I was thinking that also could be true, so I have two ideas, is that maybe he doesn't know who he is at all, and Suki, the makeup artist Suki that we see in the show, is just another version of Sean, his real name. So, yeah, so it'd be interesting if like there's a parallel universe where every season of the show or something, he's like a different, like a completely different character. Because he just reinvents himself. Whatever's in right now, he will do. So if makeup's in right now, he'll be the Suki, the makeup artist. So anyway, yeah, I think it'd be cool to like change his name every season. I mean, I don't think that's gonna happen, but just in a different world.
Very chameleon-like, like you
Yeah, like a
mentioned.
chameleon. Yeah, like he doesn't know himself, which is sad. He just knows. Yeah, so he is definitely sad. Suki is a sad character. Like he doesn't know who he really is. So he tries to just be flashy and yeah,
Yeah,
try
it's
to.
like adapting to the environment. And you mentioned you maybe think he grew up in this rural area. It seems like it might be very like conservative. Obviously, hunting was a big part of maybe fitting in for him. So was it kind of cool to revisit or have the introduction of Alpha Sean to at least explore a bit more of his past?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, I remember we filmed that Alpha Sean scene, the killing the deer. That was the first day ever before. That was the day before everybody came to set. So I was so nervous, and I don't really like what I did with it, but whatever. They only used like 10 seconds, so it was fine.
I know that his mother, it's mentioned that she was a member of the Kakegurui club as well. Like he is legacy. So there's something to say about upholding family values and standards as well with him being at St. Dom's Prep.
Definitely. And yeah, I think the only family values that his family cares about is wealth. So I don't think they care about how he gets it, which is why he's really schemy and evil. So I think honestly, it's just about the money, and that's about a lot of the parents from the show. So yeah, so it's a difficult experience for Suki to be in this school where he doesn't know who he is, and he's just trying to stand. He's trying to stand out.
In your opinion, what are Suki's primary intentions and goals? Like, what does he see as a viable future for him?
A future for Suki would just be always to be loved and adored. So I think he doesn't care how he gets it. It honestly would be if he has to become like a different type of influencer, if he has to become a bodybuilder, which I hope they don't do because I don't want to be working out every day. But if he has to start eating like creatine shakes and yeah, so I don't know. I think Suki would just have to be he just wants to be accepted.
I think that's the vein of a lot of the characters as well. We see kind of hints of, their exterior and the what they put onto the world breaking throughout the season. Which was your favorite scene in season one to film and why?
My favorite scene, the one that gave me the most energy was definitely the icebreakers. And because it gave me the most energy because I was like, oh my gosh, I was nervous, but I loved this scene so much, so I was more excited. And we didn't stop throughout the whole scene, so it was like 10 minutes just of rolling the camera. So I was like, I can't mess up any line, and so that was really exciting just as an actor to do. Um, but but the most cool one was when I came back to life, the Met Gala, because I'm in this great outfit. I felt so fabulous, and I knew Suki was just soaking up all the glory because he's been waiting for this, you know what I mean, for this moment for a long time, to be come back to life, to resurrect. So yeah, probably either icebreakers or when I come back and I'm in the Met Gala. Yeah.
How was that rabbit head to put
Oh,
on?
it was horrible because I was sweating so much, and it's actually embarrassing. I mean, the whole show I was sweating. I just sweat. I sweat a lot, and they'd have to stop like and just and cut, and I'd have to like some like assistants would have to come up and like take off my shirt and blow fans, and it was actually humiliating. Like I was like, this is so embarrassing. No one else is cracking a sweat. I guess I'm really physical and. It was so embarrassing. In the last when we were at the mansion, the last two episodes, my uh clothes were like blue. It was like wearing a light blue shirt. And so I heard them like over talking about like we shouldn't have chosen light blue. He's a big sweater because I like you can see if you look at the back, you can see a huge back sweat stain from the light blue. It was really embarrassing. They had to put pads in my armpits. It was humiliating, but the hat was great. Like the bunny, it was fun, and I felt like Marshmallow, the DJ. So
I love that
yeah,
you're
but
just so open with sharing all of this, but it's so funny because I love that, and now you can kind of look back and laugh about it because you finished
exactly.
season one and you did fantastic. So you're just like, I
Thank
need to
you.
improve like this situation for season two.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like we gotta film it in Alaska.
How were the social media posts to film? Did you get to improv any of it? I know you mentioned maybe improving in them, and what did you really want to lean into in Suki's social media persona?
I want to lean into the fakeness of like social media, like just being like over the top and selling these things like the vegan stuff. But obviously he's not vegan. He's just saying he's selling this vegan stuff because it makes the most money. Anyway, so yeah, we did some improv. Those were really fun to film. Yeah, very quick. We filmed it just on an iPhone and yeah, really fun. Simon, the creator, he was just telling me to do different things and yeah, try different things. And so those were fun to film.
Just to clarify, like free range cosmetics is not meant to be Suki's brand, is it? Is it just like something that sponsors him?
I believe so. I mean, that's what I think. I think Free Range Cosmetics is just a sponsor. Maybe I'm wrong. I mean, I can say it, I guess. I'm Sugi. So yeah, I think it's just a sponsor. Yeah.
There are parallels though, because I know he mentions Kira's like blue lip stain, and so that would be interesting, like a bit of a connection to him and obviously Saint Dom's. But you mentioned the icebreaker sequence, like 10 minutes long. How did you prepare for that dialogue scene? I know you did it in your audition, but going into, season one, this is a big moment that ultimately led to Suki's defeat.
Yes. I mean, yeah, you mentioned I did it in the audition, which I did, but they did really change most of the lines or kind of um they changed edited a lot of it. Um so yeah, I mean I had a lot of time. Oh yeah, because we got the two scripts. I think I had a lot of time to work on it, at least 3 weeks, because we got the two scripts. We got like scripts each block. So block one was the 2 episodes. So um, we got that well in advance. So I had time to go through it and with my acting teacher, yeah. Um, and yeah, I mean it was hard, but honestly, the theater training helped because in theater you can't just you learn the whole musical, right? You don't just learn scene by scene because you're going to perform it live. So that really helped me, I think.
What emotions do you think Suki is feeling after, his BPM goes over that 86 and that painful nail break? Like what is he
Uh,
dealing with mentally and emotionally?
I know. And what is he dealing with? And that was so exciting to see the nail break because I was those aren't I actually didn't do that. Those are somebody else's hands, the nails. But so I was like excited to see how they filmed it. Anyway, um yeah, I think he is like shocked that Yumeko found the old video. Um yeah, I think he's confused. He's like, "Wait, this girl is like psychotically amazing. How is she finding all this stuff?" So I think he's just confused and he's just at a loss for words. And he's jealous of Yumiko. So, she's the pretty new girl who he wants to be. So, yeah, I think a lot of anger. He is just so angry at the end of that scene.
And there's a lot of like shame and embarrassment in that moment as well. In your eyes, like how has Suki overall been feeling with the student council, losing its power and predictability with Yumiko's arrival, this new girl who he becomes a bit jealous of? Like, what is his allegiance to Kira and the council members?
Oh, I think that once Yumiko comes to St. Dominic's, his relationship with Kira grows because there's a reason for them to be even more close, because of Yumiko kind of trying to step in. So, yeah, yeah, I think their relationship grew, Kira and Suki, and Suki's kind of Kira's right-hand person. Um, so I want to, when I grow up, I want to be Kira kind of thing. So, yeah, did that answer the question? Maybe I didn't. Is that good? I'm sorry.
Yeah, you did. So, like, what's interesting is she has Riri. So, I would say Riri's also like a right-hand person, but Suki
Oh,
also
yeah.
is there, but they serve different kind of needs. Like, Suki is someone who's constantly trying to like kiss up to
Yeah,
Kira, always calling her mother.
exactly. I
Was
think
it fun to
Kira.
have this dialogue, which is so just very Gen Z based?
Oh, of course it is. Gosh, the writers were so good. And yeah, it was so cool to see how they like wrote the show and they would have different like well, they can talk to you about it. They had different like things about how they wrote it, like different like stickers and stuff they would do for each character. And yeah, so yeah, it was really cool. The writers were great. Yeah.
Suki is declared dead after his meeting with Kira. Can you fill in the blanks for where you think he was and what he was doing during this time before reemerging at the Met Gala?
Yeah, gosh, that was the biggest question of them all for me. I was like, what is he doing during this break? And I did figure out something, and now I'm forgetting it. I think, but yeah, I think that he was just on a big timeout, is what I like to think, from Kira. And I think Kira would never actually kill Suki because Suki strokes Kira's ego. I mean, Kira loves to hear Suki talk because all I do is praise her. So I think that I don't think she would ever kill, but I think she wants to get the message kill Suki. I think that she wants to get the message across to the school to be feared. I think Kira wants to be feared by the school. So yeah, I think that Suki probably just went away somewhere. Maybe Kira's family rented house for him to stay for a few weeks or something, and um, he had to sit in a little timeout and think about his actions. And yeah, it's almost like Kira is literally my mom, just giving me a timeout. So that's what I like to think happened. Yeah.
I was thinking he definitely did not have a choice or a say in the matter. Maybe, well, her wheels were turning to come up with, that cover story that ultimately spun what was uncovered against him by Yumeko. Do you think that he is someone who would have come up with the cover story himself, or probably not?
Probably, but uh yeah, more likely that somebody told him because I don't think he's the smartest, sharpest tool in the shed. I think that he needs people to tell him what to do.
He is a bit of a follower, but maybe hoping that one day he can become that leader himself. How was the house pet hunt to film in episode 7 in the
Uh
forest?
Oh, that was so fun. Well, it was fun because I love everybody and the people, but it was not fun because I hate the outdoors. So I didn't like being in the forest, and it started pouring rain, and yeah, so that was too bad. And there's so many like mosquitoes, and anyway, so I've never gone camping in my life. And my friend actually just asked me, "Do you want to go camping this summer?" yesterday, and I was like, "Oh gosh, I haven't responded to them because I do not want to go." So anyway, filming in the forest was fun. Yeah, it was about how many days? 5 days or something. It's crazy because we filmed so much more that actually wasn't in the like I remember all these little things that we filmed that weren't did end up being in the show in the forest. But yeah, it was fun. The forest was great. I mean, yeah, I every day I would just go get cappuccinos from the trailer and drown away my fears of the forest and caffeine.
Did you survive with no mosquito bites or bug bites?
No, I got a lot of mosquito bites. I think I did, but I didn't get any ticks, which is what everybody was worried about was ticks. We had like this big meeting before every day about how you have to wear these like tick boots and anyway, so no ticks, which is the biggest thing. Yeah,
Took the necessary precautions, but
exactly.
it was fun to kind of see, people's styles evolve because Suki definitely had his own house pet hunt outfit or costume that he
Yeah.
had to wear.
He did. He had the shades with the little jewelry.
Like he thinks
That was
that
one of my
that's gonna
favorite
help him
outfits.
in the forest.
Exactly. He doesn't care. He's like, there's probably paparazzi somewhere in the hiding in the bushes. Um, yeah, I love those outfits. Yeah. Yeah. The little corset. That was kind of cool.
Can you take me through the key events of the school board retreat from Suki's perspective, how you think he felt about it all, including the murder of Gabriel at the end?
Oh my gosh, good question. How do you think about the murder? I mean, okay, first about the retreat. He loved the retreat. That is his go-to because there's drinks. He likes to drink, even though he's like young, but he likes to party. So I think he likes talking to people, looking pretty, and talking about his success. Probably talking to all the parents about how many followers he has. Um, and for the death, gosh, that is difficult. I think I'm excited that Gabriel died because it causes a lot of drama in the school. So I know I'm going to have content. Um, I'm going to have content for probably months based on this. So I'm just going to take advantage of this death and get some views, get some money. So that's what I think. And I think that I'm like, oh, maybe Yumiko killed him. So at the end, when I'm running, trying to film them, I'm like, oh, this is the start of something big.
I can definitely see Suki running with that because, like you mentioned, he was the one who kind of runs and sees Yumiko and Ryan leaving quickly in that getaway car. So while Kira in the show, she kind of alludes to her father having something to do with it. I'm sure Suki has other kind of theories and plans that he's going to run with.
100%. He always has his own little plans, mischievous plans. So
And
yeah.
there was the servant game as well, which was hard to watch as viewers, but you can tell that Suki really enjoys that kind of
Oh, he loves
drama.
it. Oh gosh, I mean that he's filming it and he's like, this is gonna get views because all these poor people are fighting for money and Yeah, it's a crazy game.
You worked closely with Rami, who of course plays Suki's faithful house pet Rex. How was it having him as a constant scene partner? And do you think that any part of Suki cared for Rex, or was he just seen as someone to serve his needs?
Oh, I think that Rex is like Rex to me is like what I am to Kira, I think. Because Rex always strokes my ego. He says what I want to hear. He makes me feel like idolized. Um, yeah, I think I really care for Rex. I think that I would be very disappointed if it wouldn't be the end of the world for me, but because I would find somebody else to do the job. But um, I think I really care for him. I think he's like a special. I think I've had a lot of house pets in the past, and he's probably my favorite. He's the one I'm the closest to. So, the working with Rami was so bad. It was horrible. No, I'm like, can we not talk about this? Um, no, it was amazing. It was so good. Yeah, he's just like so funny, and yeah, we hung out recently, went to like a comedy show, and yeah, he's really fun. One of the closest people I got to connect with. Yeah,
I was going to say, I think he has a bit of a comedy kind of background as well in terms of like
yeah.
performing, so you could kind of connect on that front.
Oh, of course. We would always just be making just like pretending we're different people, like on set, and yeah, doing what crazy comedians do.
And with Rex, I mean, someone's got to hold the ring light and record. So that was kind of funny to see some of that insight into filming those social media videos for him when he had that leash the one time. And I was just thinking,
I
like, this is
know.
so bizarre and campy, but it was fun.
It's bizarre but fun. Yeah, that's right.
How was the St. Dom's prep set to film at? Are there any behind the scenes details that you can share about the school grounds or how it all came together?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we had an actual set, which was so cool. So that was in the studio we filmed most of the stuff in. And then we also filmed at two universities, or wait, one private school in Toronto and then University of Toronto. Um, so at different areas. So yeah, the outside is University of Toronto. It's beautiful. Um, and yeah, it was really cool to film. I remember FaceTiming my brother, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, I feel like I'm on like Riverdale or something." Like it was just a cool uh, thing to walk around the set and see the way they would like change the set. Or it's actually cool to watch it yesterday, watching the show, because I was like, "Oh, where did they film that?" Like, I was just curious, and because I didn't wasn't in a lot of scene, like every scene, of course. So I didn't know. I was like, where did they film that? In the studio or was it at like the private school we were filming at? So yeah, the set was great. It was so cool, and the lights and oh, it was so moody, and I really liked it.
There was a lot of, you just said the continuity between like, the different sets and different locations as well. How was the student council kind of quarters to film at? I loved like that round table. It felt so
Uh,
kind of intimidating, but also very official with like that blue
yeah.
light as well.
That to me it looked even cooler in person. Like I was like it really looked like that. Like there was no editing on that part. It was just lights and LEDs and rich like wallpaper and it was really cool. That was my favorite set. Also, the Met Gala was the favorite because we were all like, "Oh my gosh, we feel like we're like at a bougie school dance," and which I guess that is what it is. And yeah, the set people they did such a good job. Like, yeah, I mean,
Props to set decoration and of course
yeah.
hair, makeup, wardrobe. The Met Gala looks were something else as well.
Oh, incredible. Yeah, everyone knew what they were doing, I found. Like, it was cool to work with such talented people on the show, and yeah.
And talking about talented people, how was it working with your cast? Do you have a favorite memory or two from filming? And had you known any of the other cast members prior to going into season one?
True. Had I known anyone? Ooh, I don't think I did, actually. Um, I feel like I did. I knew Aviva a little bit. Because I remember my brother used to like the show. I think it was called Backstage. Yes. So my brother was obsessed with that show. So I kind of knew of her. I didn't really watch it, but I knew of her. Um, And then that might be it, who I kind of knew of. But yeah, it was amazing to get to know each of them. I mean, like I said, it was like summer camp. Like we just had a ton of fun. Um, yeah, we'd always go out after for drinks or like dinner, a late dinner after um on set, and yeah, we just had a lot of fun together. We really clicked. So it was definitely a special bonding experience.
And it's so special to have such a, primarily Canadian cast as well, which I thought was so cool. You filmed in Toronto and most of you are from, I think, Ontario. How was it working with Simon Barry and his creative vision for the show? Was it very collaborative in your eyes?
Yes, it was. My acting teacher, before on my first audition for the show, I said, "Oh, it's by Simon Barry," and I was like, "Do you know him?" And she's like, "Oh my gosh, I worked with him years and years ago," and she just remembers him being the sweetest guy. So I had a great idea in my head from the beginning, even before I booked the show. So, and he really was. He is the sweetest person, and but not like a pushover. Like he knows what he wants, which I really appreciate. And he won't lie to you. If he doesn't like something, he'll say it in like a nice way. But if he wants you to do something else, he'll tell you. He really is inspiring and always motivating us to not be scared to like try different things. So yeah, working with Simon was really incredible. And his wife, Jackie Gould, she directed some episodes that I wasn't in, but she was amazing too. Yeah, they're like a power team.
It's so nice to know that you have the support and trust of the creative team behind the show and you feel comfortable going to set because it all kind of comes from top down, your experience. If renewed for a second season, what would you like to further explore with Suki? And are there any other characters or plot lines that you're excited to dive deeper into, having watched season one in full now?
Oh man, what do I think? I think Suki, I mean, I selfishly I want Suki to be a pop star. So I would love if Suki, because I love dancing. I grew up dancing, and I just would love if he could be a pop star, like just traveling the world or like releasing music and doing like different things. What do I like music videos and stuff? Because I just would love to do that. And I think Suki would have a lot of fun doing that. But what else do I think? Season two, this is what we talk about. This is if we're going out for drinks with the cast, like this is what we talk about. What would happen in the next season? So we all have our different ideas. For me, it would be probably Suki, like having a bit more of a relationship, like maybe like a romantic love interest. That to me would be really fun to work with. So, yeah, and hopefully I can pick the guy. No, I'm kidding. I'll be in the casting office. I'm kidding. I love Suki to have a romantic relationship. Yeah.
I think it would be interesting to kind of explore how that affects him as well, because it's something that is not really kind of talked about or really considered in season one. So I think the possibilities are really endless for this character, and I'm excited for hopefully seeing that and growth in the future. Being inspired by any popular beloved manga would draw the attention of many. So, how conscious were you in the cast of this and wanting to do the source material justice, but balancing that with telling your own stories and bringing something fresh to the characters?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's what we were thinking about that all the time, I think. Um, so I think we did a good job just having the same, I think people need to realize it's like inspired. It's definitely not like it's a very loose inspiration kind of thing. So as long as people understand that, then I think they'll have an open mind. But yeah, we've been a bit discouraged with the response so far. Before the show came out, you know what I mean? People on social media and stuff aren't too pleased. But those are the people who think it's more of like a actually adaptation, but it really is just loosely based off of it. So anyway, I think as long as people have an open mind, I hope that they see, the fun of it. It's over the top and it's campy. Um, and it's entertaining. It's I hope they enjoy the show, even if they haven't seen or read the manga. I mean, yeah.
I think that that's well said, and I could tell that, from the show, well, it's kind of different storylines for these characters. You captured the essence of it, and you did it with a lot of care, which I think is important going in, is that you wanted to do justice for your own characters, and that's really the key part. And I'm excited for you all. I know you mentioned being a bit discouraged with negativity, and people need to keep an open mind and form your opinions after. But these people, they tried their best, and you had a lot of fun making it.
Yeah, exactly. We had so much fun. So I hope they see that through the screen.
And I'm excited to see your vlogs and behind the scenes content. I know you said that you were filming a lot, so hopefully on your YouTube channel. And I do have to ask, who was the cast member whose trailer toilet you clogged? Because you
Oh,
mentioned that in a video.
oh my gosh, it's so embarrassing. That is crazy. How did you find that on Instagram?
It might have been Instagram or TikTok, maybe.
Oh, that's so funny. It was Eve. That was so embarrassing. She wasn't there like for like a few days, and so I was in her trailer. I don't know. We moved around trailers sometimes, at least I did. So, anyway, I was in her trailer for the day, and yeah, I clogged the toilet, and then they had to put like a sign out that said like no, I don't know, I forget what it said, but it was so embarrassing. Yeah.
It's like she comes back to set and she's like, "What happened to my
Oh,
toilet?" And
oh,
you're
I know.
like, "Oh, I
I
don't know.
know.
I don't know. I had nothing to do with it."
I had no clue. Yeah, she like asked who was in the trailer, I think, and it was me. And I was like, but whatever. I love Eve, so I was like, sucks to
I'm
be.
sure she didn't hold a grudge, so don't don't worry.
Knowing Eve, she did. No, I'm kidding.
Just
She,
something to add to the whole experience of shooting season one. I have one more question for your signature question. If you could be any ice cream flavor, which would you be and why?
aw, oh, it's so sweet. Any ice cream flavor. I used to do these kind of questions in musical theater school every day. We would do like if you could be a drink or a hot drink. But if I could be an ice cream flavor, well, my favorite ice cream flavor is cookie dough. But if I could be one, like who resembles me, I mean, I like to think, I mean, I love the color pink. So honestly, probably strawberry. It's light, it's fruity, it's sweet, and yeah, strawberry.
That is a perfect way to end things off. Thank you so much, Ryan, for taking the time to chat. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thanks everybody for watching.
Yeah, thank you for watching. I feel like that you saying that just like brings me flashbacks to your own like YouTube videos, and you're
I
so used to like
know.
say the sign off and the goodbye. But I hope we do get to catch up again in the future, hopefully for a second season. So people, please tune in to watch Ryan as Suki in Bet. Season one is out on Netflix on May 15th, so it will be out now by the time you're watching this interview. RYANcomedy on YouTube and TikTok for more great content, and we will see you next time.
Yay, thank you.